Please rise, ladies and gentlemen. The 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now convened for its 41st regular session. The Honorable Vice Governor Adeline M. Angeles presiding.
The 41st regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now called to order. Requesting Honorable Neril Manggol to kindly lead the invocation to be followed by national anthem.
Good morning po sa ating lahat. Experience the presence of the Lord, in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father God, thank you for allowing us today to gather and be able to share our knowledge and time with one another in this session. We pray that you would deepen our comprehension, broaden our thinking, and guide us in understanding of what we are able to discuss today. Bless our colleagues and endow us skills needed to cope with the challenges imposed upon us by our positions in the public service. May you bestow your blessings so that we may be able to perform our roles and responsibilities in the spirit of your love and generosity. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y bumay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiliw, sa manlulupi, kita masisingil, sa lahat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo kamay. May ilang ang tulan, awit sa paglayang tinamakan, ang isang ng watawat mo'y nabuhay na nagiging, ang bituin ng harap niya kailan ang pagiging, parang araw ng maraming pagsip na mayayagin sa ating ko. Aming ligaya naman may mamagin, malamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Requesting our good secretary to kindly call the roll.
Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, Honorable Mel Gabal R. Encabo, Honorable Mercedes Arihano, Honorable Danilo R. Red, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol, Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada, Honorable Lorena Rosales. Madam Presiding Officer, with the 8 members of the board present, we have the necessary quorum for this morning session.
The chair declares the presence of quorum. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, sa mga kasama at sa mga miyembro ng sanggunian, sa ating mga katuwang mula sa secretary at sa ating mga panauhin. Recognizing our floor leader, Honorable Leva.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer, and good morning. For the reading and adoption of the minutes of the previous session, may I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous session and consider the same as having been read without prejudice to the corrections from the members of the board. I so move.
There's a motion for us to dispense with the reading of the minutes. Any objection to that? The chair hears none. Then let's proceed to the necessary correction. Any correction from the floor? What's the pleasure of the floor leader?
Madam Presiding Officer, since there's no correction coming from the members of the board, may I move that we approve and adopt the minutes of the 40th regular session dated June 2, 2023. I so move.
There's a motion for the adoption of the June 2, 2023 sessions minutes. Any second? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, the minutes of our June 2, 2023 session is now adopted without correction.
We now go to the matters arising from the minutes, inviting members of the board who have some matters arising from the minutes.
Any matters arising from the floor? What's the pleasure of the floor leader?
We now go to the approval and amendment of the agenda. Madam Presiding Officer,
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
we don't have privilege hour nor a question hour in today's session. We now go to committee reports. Madam Presiding Officer, before we continue, may I move for the suspension of the rules in as far as the order and calendar of business is concerned, to include the following committee reports. Joint Committee Report of the Committee on Health and Nutrition and Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances. Joint Committee Report of the Committee on Fisheries, Aquatic Resources, and the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances. Joint Committee Report of the Committee on Agriculture, Committee on Appropriation, and the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances. Committee Report of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, and the Joint Committee Report of the Committee on Education, Youth, and Sports.
The additional committee reports is now considered in the item for committee reporting as moved by the Chair of the Committee on Rules.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Education for the Joint Committee Report number 164 series of 2023 of the Joint Committee on Education, Culture, and the Arts and the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances regarding proposed ordinance number 16-42.
Recognizing the gentleman from Santa Cruz, Honorable Danny Red.
Madam Presiding Officer, Board Members, good morning. Committee Report number 164-2023. Joint Committee on Education, Cultural and Arts, and Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances. Subject: Proposed Ordinance number 16-42, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing the Bayanihan sa 3R Baya Program, Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic in the Department of Education, Schools, Division of Marinduque, providing mechanism for its implementation and appropriating fund, therefore, and for other related purposes. In consideration of the above stated subject matter, which was referred to herein reporting committee, a committee hearing was held on May 31, 2023, and the recommendations are hereby being presented to this honorable body through the presiding officer for consideration and appropriate legislative action. Present during the said hearing are the following resource persons: Ms. Flory M. Regencia, DepEd, SDM, Education and Program Supervisor, Filipino; Ms. Jelly L. Sore, DepEd, SDM, Education Program Supervisor, English; Ms. Miriam S. Sadiwa, Provincial Budget Office. Findings: the students in the province are experiencing hardship in reading as an effect of the pandemic period, wherein students were locked down and learned remotely for two years during the said period. Initial recommendations: that should be a specific period of implementation of the ordinance, considering that it is primarily intended as a remediation measure to improve the reading and comprehension skill of students that is affected by the pandemic. Considering also that regular face-to-face classes were already being implemented, wherein the students were already being given proper learning intervention by the teachers. The funding should be specific as to amount and what will covered, since the initialization of the program would entail huge amount which may not be able to be afforded by the province. The Special Education Fund, SEP, should be locked for the purpose, and if not sufficient, may be supplemented from the general fund. The amount of 1 million pesos and be appropriated annually for the said program. The effectivity of the ordinance shall be on the year 2024. Recommendations: that the proposed ordinance be amended considering the foregoing initial recommendations, and Number 2, that the copy of amended ordinance be furnished to the Department of Education, School Division of Marinduque, the Provincial Budget Officer, and other concerned stakeholders for further comments and recommendation. Respectfully submitted, yours truly, Chairperson, Committee on Education, Antonio Mangkukang III, Vice Chairperson, Committee on Education, Esmael D. Pilim, Member, Committee on Education, Member, Committee on Rules and Ordinances, Bernadine Opis, Member, Committee on Education, Mercedes Arrejano, Member, Committee on Education, Aurelio J. Leva III, Chairperson, Committee on Rules, Laws and Ordinances, Mark Julius Caballes, Vice Chair, Committee on Rules and Ordinances, Jose Neril Mangol, Member, Committee on Rules, Laws and Ordinances, Baldomero Limpiada, Member, Committee on Rules, Laws and Ordinances, concurred by Adeline M. Angeles, Vice Governor, ex officio member.
Thank you, Honorable Red. Any clarification from the floor? So what is now the pleasure of the reporting committee chair?
Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the adoption of the committee hearing. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
There is a motion from the chair of the reporting committee chair for the adoption of the committee report number 164-2023. Any objection? The chair hears none. Committee report number 164-2023 is now adopted. And requesting the assistance of the secretary to kindly facilitate the provision of the amended copy of the ordinance as proposed by the committee to the Schools Division of Marinduque.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the committee report number 165-2023 of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure, Land Use and Urban Planning and Development.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Subject matters, Comprehensive Land Use Plan 2022 to 2036 of the Municipality of Gasan, Marinduque. Pursuant to Section 56A of Republic Act 7160 or the Local Government Code of 1991, the Sangguniang Bayan of Gasan submitted for review of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan copy of the Comprehensive Land Use Plan 2022 to 2036. The said CLUP was referred to the hearing committee, and in a committee hearing conducted February 2, 2023, recommended the same be referred to the Provincial Land Use Committee for technical review and recommendation. On February 9, 2023, a PLOC meeting was held wherein the body favorably endorsed to the Sangguniang the said CLUP for appropriate legislative action of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan as contained in resolution number 04-2023, subject to the some observations and recommendations. The amended CLUP of the Municipality of Gasan was resubmitted on January 9, 2023, and upon the follow-up committee hearing held on June 6, 2023, the committee favorably recommends for the approval of the Comprehensive Land Use Plan CLUP 2022 to 2036 of the Municipality of Gasan, Marinduque, finding the same as aligned with the Provincial Development and Physical Framework Plan of the Province of Marinduque and has undergone the required process. Respectfully submitted, yours truly as Chairperson, Honorable Dalino Alred as Vice Chairperson, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim as Member, Honorable Malcabal and Cabo as Member, Honorable Maldomero L. Limpiada as Member. Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the adoption of Committee Report number 165, Series of 2023.
Any objection from the floor? Hearing none, the committee report number 165-2023 is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized again for another Committee Report number 166, Series of 2023.
With the approval of Committee Report 165-2023.
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, the accompanying resolutions is being requested to be transferred to the business for the day portion of today's session.
So the resolutions as an offshoot of committee report number 165/2023 duly adopted is now considered in the business for the day.
Madam
Yes,
Presiding
Honorable
Officer,
Leva.
may this representation be recognized again for
Proceed,
another.
Honorable Leva.
Committee Report Number 166, Series of 2023 of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-281 of the Municipality of Mungpog, Marinduque, entitled An Ordinance Eliminating the Practice of Fish Trading among Fishermen, Trade Middlemen, and Market Fish Vendors called Padawa System. The Sangguniang Bayan of Mugpog submitted for review of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Marinduque copy of its Municipal Ordinance Number 2022-281 as above titled pursuant to Section 56A of the Republic Act 7160 or the Local Government Code of 1991. Upon review of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, unto which the said ordinance was referred, it finds that the same was in order and it is within the power vested upon the Sangguniang Bayan. Hence, the committee favorably recommends for the declaration of Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-281 of the Municipality of Mugpog, Marinduque, entitled An Ordinance Eliminating the Practice of Fish Trading among Fishermen, Trade Middlemen, and Market Fish Vendors called Padawa System as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. Respectfully submitted, yours truly as Chairperson, Mark Julius P. Caballos as Vice Chairperson, Ismael D. Pilim as Member, Jose Nerel L. Mangol as Member, Bardomero L. Lampiada as Member. Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the adoption of Committee Report Number 166, Series of 2023.
There's a motion from the reporting committee chair for the adoption of committee report number 166-2023 as rendered. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, committee report number 166-2023 rendered by the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances is now adopted.
Further, recommending, Madam Presiding Officer, that the accompanying resolution be transferred to the business for the day portion of today's session.
And for the accompanying resolutions to be transferred in today's business for the day.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Youth and Sports Development for the Joint Committee Report Number 167, Series of 2023 of the Joint Committee on Youth and Sports Development and the Committee on Appropriation.
Recognizing the chair of the Committee on Youth and Sports Development, Honorable Loren Rosales.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Committee Report Number 167-2023, Joint Committee on Youth and Sports and Development and Committee on Appropriations. Letter from Mr. Durandro de los Reyes, Provincial Youth Development Officer, requesting for appropriation of the total amount of 2 million for various programs and activities relative to the Presby Cup Youth 2023 and the celebration of the Linggo ng Kabataan on August 2023. Findings, the PYDO shall be organizing two pivotal events this coming August 2023, namely the Presby Cup Youth 2023 and the celebration of Linggo ng Kabataan, with a breakdown of expenses to it. A. Prices, 460,000, referees, table officials, and other technical fees, 300,000, sports equipment, 240,000, miscellaneous, 200,000, foods, 300,000, gabi ng parangal, 500,000, with a total of 2 million pesos. The said activities aim to provide the youth with the platforms for demonstrating their talents, fostering skills, instilling values of sportsmanship and teamwork, and developing leadership quantities with a long-term benefit that are multi-faced and profound, influencing not only in the individual growth of the youth, but also the overall social, economic, and cultural development of the province. Based on the foregoing, the Joint Committee hereby recommends that the request of the Provincial Youth Development Office for appropriation be returned to their office for them to submit the same to the Provincial Development Council through the Provincial Planning and Development Office for its inclusion in the supplemental EIP. Respectfully submitted, Lauren R. Rosales, Chairman, Committee on Youth and Sports, Member, Committee on Appropriation. Honorable Mark Julius Caballes, Chairman, Committee on Appropriations, Vice Chairman, Committee on Youth and Sports. Honorable Ismael Lim, Vice Chairman, Committee on Appropriations. Honorable Aurelio J. Leba III, Member, Committee on Appropriations, Member, Committee on Youth and Sports. Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Member, Committee on Youth and Sports. Madam Chair. I move for the adoption of the said committee report, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Rosales. Any objection to the adoption of the committee report as rendered? The chair hears none. Thus, committee report number 167-2023, rendered by the Joint Committees on Youth and Sports Development and Committee on Appropriation, represented by Honorable Rosales, is now adopted.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And with the adopted committee report, so proper communication be sent to the PYDO. Can we attach the committee report so that they will be guided properly? Attach the copy of the committee report. Okay, the session resumed.
Madam Chair, may I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on LEE, Public-Private Partnership and Investment Promotion,
to establish an economic zone and designate the principal officers who will be in charge of the operation of the zone in the municipality of Santa Cruz. And number two, letter from the governor requesting the Sangguniang Panlalawigan the inclusion of the names of Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Balogo International Port and Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Ino Kapayang Agro-Industrial Zone. The findings are as follows. Number one, on February 17, 2023, referred to this committee was the letter from Governor PRESBITERO J. Velasco Jr. endorsing to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan for legislative authority to establish an economic zone and designate principal officers who will be in charge for operation of the zone in the municipality of Santa Cruz and the Ino Kapayang, Ino Kapayang Magpog. Number two, on February 22, a committee hearing was held wherein the committee recommended for passage of an ordinance establishing an economic zone in the province of Marinduque and providing officers for its operations and mechanisms for its implementation and for other related purposes. Number three, on March 17, 2023, another letter from Governor PRESBITERO J. Velasco Jr. Was received by the SP requesting for the inclusion of the names Marinduque Special Economic and Balogo International Port and Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Ino Kapayang Agro-Industrial Zone in the previous request, which was also referred to this committee. Number four, during the April 14, 2023 regular session, the SP, it was agreed that a committee of the whole meeting hearing be conducted to discuss both the herein above stated subject matters. Thus, a committee hearing was held on April 18, 2023, led by the Committee on Local Economic Enterprises, Private Partnerships, and Investment Promotion. Number five, according to the Provincial Legal Officer, who is also the representative of the Office of the Governor, Congressman Velasco Jr., Congressman Velasco had filed, Congressman Velasco had filed House Bill number 33, which intends to establish a Marinduque Special Economic Zone area. However, the said bill was not yet approved as of the moment. Hence, the Governor is requesting for an authority to apply for the establishment of an economic zone in the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, PEZA. Number six, the Balogo Economic Zone is intended for the establishment of an international port, cold storage facility, fish processing, and other feasible businesses as may be identified. The National Development Corporation had expressed willingness to look for possible investors to invest in the said economic zone. Number 7, Ika-41 Agro-Industrial Zone is intended to support facilities and services required for processing agro-based manufacturing activities, utilization of local agriculture, and marine products such as post-harvest treatment, cold storage, byproduct management, and other related facilities and services. The proposed economic zone is within the approved Comprehensive Land Use Plan, CLUP, of the Municipality of Mogpog. Number 8, the establishment of an economic zone provides tax privileges and incentives to investors, while on the other hand, it also provides opportunity for local economic development and progress. Number 9, the representative of Barangay Balogo, Santa Cruz, Kagawad Reynado Peregrine, expressed no objection to the proposed establishment of the economic zone in their barangay, believing that it will be a great help not only to the residents of their barangay but also to the whole province of Marinduque. Number 10, Punong Barangay Victor Lacerda of Barangay Ino, and Punong Barangay Romel Moreno of Barangay Kapayang, both from Mogpog, also expressed no objection to the establishment of an economic zone in their respective barangays, since they are also optimistic in the economic development it is bound to bring about. Number 11, the representative of Municipal Mayor of Mogpog, Engineer Melissa Nieva, stated the establishment of economic zone in Mogpog is one of the top 5 priorities of their municipal government as contained in the approved CLUP. They believe it will create more job opportunities, business opportunities, and community development. Thus, she likewise expressed that the municipal government of Mogpog is fully supporting the establishment of an economic zone in their municipality. Number 12, the municipal mayor of Santa Cruz, in the representation made by the chairperson of the Committee on LEE, and I will add, based on the information from the provincial legal officer, that the governor had a meeting with the mayor and the Sangguniang Bayan members, already signified their support to the proposed economic zone in Santa Cruz. The recommendations are, in consideration of the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of the following resolutions. Number 1, resolution authorizing Honorable Governor PRESBITERO J. Velasco Jr. to negotiate with concerned government agencies, local government units, and stakeholders for the creation of Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Balogo International Port in Santa Cruz, Marinduque, apply with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, PEZA, Tourism Infrastructure and the Enterprise Zone Authority, TIEZA, and other concerned agencies of the government for the establishment of the same, and designate its initial principal officers, subject to the concurrence of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. And number 2, resolution authorizing the Honorable Governor PRESBITERO J. Velasco Jr. to negotiate with concerned government agencies, local government units, and stakeholders for the creation of Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Ika-41 Agro-Industrial Zone in Mogpog. In Mogpog, Marinduque, apply with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, PEZA, and Tourism Infrastructure and the Enterprise Zone Authority, TIEZA, and other concerned agencies of the government for the establishment of the same, and designate its initial principal officers, subject to the concurrence of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Respectfully submitted, Ismael D. P. Lim, Chairperson, Danilo R. Red, Member, Jose Nerel Mangol, Member, and Aurelio Leva, the third Vice Chairperson, Antonio Mangkukang, the third Member, concurred by Honorable Adeline Emangales, Vice Governor, Mark Julius Caballes, SP Member, Mega Balincabo, SP Member, Bernardine Opis Mercado, SP Member, Mercedes Arellano, SP Member, Baldomero Lempiada, SP Member, Loren R. Rosales, SP Member. Madam Chair, the committee report number 169-2023, I respectfully submit.
Thank you to the reporting committee chair. Yes, Honorable Lim.
Madam Chair, if there are no more questions from the body, with the indulgence of the body, Madam Chair, I move that the committee report number 169-2023, Committee of the Whole, with the Committee on Local Economic Enterprise and Public Partnership and Investment Promotion as the lead committee, be adopted, Madam Chair, as submit.
Do we need to reconsider the word initial with interim?
With amendments, Madam Chair.
Okay. na-capture naman ng Secretariat yun. Ano. Thank you, Bokal Mael. Any objection from the body for the adoption of the resolution as amended, of the committee report as amended? The chair hears none. The committee report rendered by Honorable Ismael Lim is now adopted with amendment.
Moving further, Madam Chair, that the proposed resolution stipulated in the recommendations be included in the business of the day. Madam Chair, I so move.
And also the two proposed resolutions from the adopted committee report be considered in the business for the day.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, may this representation be recognized for the committee report number 170/2023 of the Committee of the Whole with the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances as the lead committee.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Subject request of the Governor for authority to open a time deposit account in the amount of 9 million with the Development Bank of the Philippines, and number 2, placement of 100 million treasury bills. The committee recommends the following: for the adoption of a resolution authorizing the Governor of Honorable PRESBITERO J. VELASCO Jr. to open a time deposit account in the amount of 9 million with the Development Bank of the Philippines, and number 2, for the adoption of a resolution authorizing the Governor, Honorable PRESBITERO J. VELASCO Jr. to place 100 million treasury bill with the Development Bank of the Philippines for a period of 6 months subject to prevailing rate, and the January 27, 23 original letter of the Governor regarding the DBP loans be set aside or archived. Respectfully submitted, the Honorable Adeline M. Angeles, Vice Governor and Chairperson of the Committee of the Whole. Yours truly as a Chairperson of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances. Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballos, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Jose Nery L. Mangol, Honorable Baldomero L. Limpiada, Honorable Malcabal R. Incabo, Honorable Mercedes S. Riano, Honorable Danilo R. Red, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Bernardine Opes Mercado, and Honorable Lauren R. Rosales. Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the adoption of Committee Report number 1700 of 2023.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. Any query, any clarification from the floor? The chair hears none. What is the pleasure again of Honorable Leva?
I move for the adoption of Committee Report number 170/2023 of the Committee of the Whole, led by the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
Any objection to the adoption of the committee report as moved? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report number 170/2023 of the Committee of the Whole, led by the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances is now adopted.
And the accompanying resolution, Madam Chair, is hereby moved that it be transferred to the business for the day.
The two proposed resolutions recommended by the committee in the committee report be considered in the business for the day.
Madam Presiding Officer, the next committee report is from the Committee on Health and the Committee on Rules. May I ask that under Committee Report number 171/2023, may I ask that the chairperson, Vice Chairperson rather, of the Committee on Health be recognized.
The Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Health, Honorable Rihano, is recognized.
Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. My dear colleagues, there is a certified urgent letter from the Governor, Presbitero Velasco, regarding for legislative authority to enter into and sign a memorandum of agreement for in the behalf of the PGM and the DOH-CHD MIMAROPA relative to the ESPESYALISTA para sa Bayan program. Tayo po ay, dear colleagues, tayo po ay hinihingan na tayo po ay magbigay at mag-authorize sa ating governor na mag-enter into a memorandum of agreement with the DOH na suportahan ang ating mga espesyalista dito sa ating pagkailangan ng ating ospital ng ating panlalawigan. I so move for the adoption of this committee report, and I move that it will be tackled for the transfer for the business for the day. Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Rejano. Any objection to the adoption of the committee report? The chair hears none, thus the committee report is adopted, and corresponding resolution of authority to the governor will be included in the business for the day. Malaking bagay po ito dahil 2 medical specialist ang ipoprovide ng DOH for 2 years. So malaking katulungan sa atin at this point in time.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture for the committee report number 172-2023 of the Joint Committee of the Committee on Agriculture and the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances with regard to the urgent letter of the Governor to enter into a memorandum of agreement with PHILMECH.
Okay, the Honorable Gentleman from Santa Cruz, Chair of the Committee on Agriculture, Honorable Mel Encabo is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. This is a joint committee report between the Committee on Rules and Law and the Committee of Agriculture. Before anything else, I would like to thank the kind action of Majority Floor Leader. Maraming salamat po. This is our dear Governor is asking for authority to the provincial government of Marinduque, represented by Governor PRESBITERO VELASCO Jr., to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Philippine Center of Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization, PHILMECH, Madam Chair. The PHILMECH will invest machines for to improve the coconut industry of Marinduque, Madam Chair. They will bring us the SPF or the Shared Processing Facilities, Madam Chair. Ito po yung Madam Chair na machine na gagawa po ng RBDO or the refined deodorized oil, Madam Chair. And may extension, according to ASEC de Luna, meron pa po extension also. Even the water po ng coconut is can be used. Pwede po nating i-export, Madam Chair. So I move for the adoption and approval of this committee report, Madam Chair.
Wala na po bang paglilinaw? Just a query po. Ito'y malaking bagay po sa atin dahil PHILMECH is supporting us. Ang tanong ko lang po ay how will it be handled and operated? Is there a project proposal for this purpose that will serve as reference?
Yes, Madam Chair. Meron po silang plans for this, Madam Chair.
Ang mag-ooperate po nito
ang mag-ooperate po nito is sa Provincial Government of Marinduque,
sa
Madam Chair.
agriculture po
Yes,
natin.
Madam Chair. Tayo po mag-ano, but with the close coordination of PHILMECH, Madam Chair.
Okay po. If that is so, ito po ba'y bahagi ng magiging panibagong parang LEE natin?
Yes, it would be form part of our LEE, Madam Chair. Kasi Madam Chair, ang susupervise po siya, magpapatakbo po ng machine is a provincial government.
Ito po'y parang mini oil mill?
Mini oil mill, pero yung lang po, Madam Chair, yung ang kanya lang pong ipaprocess is coconut oil for the meantime. And then, marami po silang proposal na nire-request po sa PHILMECH, even the coconut water, pwede po nating magamit, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Encabo. The presiding officer will just request po na after we give authority to the governor to enter into this MOA, ay hilingan din po natin ng copy from our provincial agriculture, yung pong kanila pong mismong operational plan ng equipment na ito para po guided din tayo kung papaano siya mag-ooperate at ano po ang iba pang magiging accountability ng province kasi baka po may kailangang i-budget for its full operation para ma-maximize po naman yung operation po nitong equipment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ang part po ng provincial government, i-organize po ng provincial government po ang ating mga local coconut farmers. Doon po sila kukuha ng materials. Bibilin po nila at fair price po, Madam Chair. And then at the same time po, hindi po naman i-monopolize. Ang tanong po kasi ng ating Vice Chair kanina, baka po ma-monopolize lang. Hindi po. Ang inaano po rito, kung sino po ang gusto magbenta sa provincial government, yun lang po ang ng probinsya.
Okay po. Thank you, Honorable Encabo.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other query? So yung sa akin po, isama lang po natin siguro kahit separate na communication to our provincial agriculture office.
Yes,
with
ma'am.
regard to the copy of the operational plan, any related project proposal. Kasi definitely, bago po ito na-aprubahan ng PHILMECH ay may sinubmit po
Yes,
na
ma'am.
documents, proposal ang ating province as reference for this project po.
Yes, ma'am. I will take noted po yan, Madam Chair. We will ask a copy of it, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Encabo.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
So is there any objection to the motion of the reporting committee chair for the adoption of the committee report as rendered? The chair hears none, thus the committee report as rendered by Honorable Encabo on behalf of the Joint Committee on Agriculture and Rules is now adopted. And the
Yes, Madam Chair. And the accompanying resolution will be moved to the business for the day, Madam Chair.
and the accompanying resolution on the proposed authority to the governor be transferred in the business for the day.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, may I ask to recognize again the chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture, Fisheries and Aquatic Resources for the Joint Committee Report number 173, Series of 2023 of the Joint Committee on Agriculture, Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Committee on Appropriation, and Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances on the request of the Governor for a Memorandum of Agreement for the Agricultural Training Institute Regional Training Center, MIMAROPA, for the PAPES implementation.
Again, Honorable Encabo is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you again, Majority Floor. Maraming salamat. I move for the adoption and the approval of the committee report granting authority to the Provincial Governor, Honorable PRESBITERO J. VELASCO Jr., and to enter into Memorandum of Agreement with the Agricultural Training Institution Regional Training Center, MIMAROPA, ATI, represented by the Center Director, Pat Andrew B. Barrientos, for the purpose of facilitating a transfer of fund worth 1.2 million pesos from to Provincial Government of Marinduque, Madam Chair. So I move, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, ito po the money to be transferred here in the provincial government will be used para po sa PAPES, sa training po ng ating mga magsasaka, to improve po yung mga kaalaman ng ating mga magsasaka, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Encabo. Yes, we understand that it's part also of the transitory preparation for the devolution of some of the programs by agriculture through PAFES. So, is there any objection to the motion by the reporting committee chair for the adoption of the committee report with recommendation that a resolution be given to the governor to enter into MOA with the Agricultural Training Institutional Regional Training Center, MIMAROPA, with regard to the transfer of 1.2 million pesos to the provincial government. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report is adopted.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And the accompanying resolution will be requested to be transferred to business
And
for
the
the day, Madam
recommended
Chair.
resolution recommended by the committee in the adopted report be transferred to business for the day. Thank you, Honorable
Maraming
Encabo.
salamat po, Madam Chair.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the committee report of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances. Under
Proceed,
Committee Report
Honorable
174, Series of 2023.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, before this committee are Municipal Ordinance Number 199, Series of 2023, entitled An Ordinance Enacting the Enhanced Gender and Development Code of the Municipality of Gasan and mandating the implementation of a comprehensive and sustainable GOD program. And number 2 is Municipal Ordinance Number 200, Series of 2023, titled An Ordinance Requiring Certain Establishment, Learning Institutions, and Other Offices found within the territorial jurisdiction of the Municipality of Gasan to install a closed-circuit television system in their premises and prescribing penalties and for violation thereof and for other purposes. Upon scrutiny of the two legislative measures enacted by the Municipality of Gasan, it was found out that the two ordinances are valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan of Gasan to enact. Therefore, the committee recommends for its adoption and that the accompanying resolution be transferred to the business for the day portion of today's session.
So, any objection to the adoption to the motion of the reporting committee chair to adopt the committee report as rendered, favorably endorsing the declaration of two municipal ordinances from Gasan as valid and within the authority of the said Sangguniang or LGUTN Act. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report is adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Education for the Joint Committee Report number 175-2023 of the Committee on Education, Culture and the Arts, and the Youth and Sports.
The gentleman from Santa Cruz, Honorable Danny Red, is recognized.
Madam Presiding Officer, with the indulgence of the members of the Committee on Education and Youth and Sports, this representation will render a committee report in today's session, Madam Chair.
Proceed, Honorable Red.
Madam Chair, I move for the adoption of the committee report and the accompanying resolution be transferred to the business of the day. I so move, Madam Chair.
So, what is the final recommendation? Ano po ang final recommendation ng committee?
The Committee on Education and the Committee on Youth and Sports favorably recommends for the passage of a resolution individual citations to the winning Marinduque athletes during the regional meet held in the provinces of Mindoro and Romblon and likewise transferred to the business of the day, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Red. Is there any objection to the committee report of the Joint Committee rendered by Honorable Red, favorably recommending the adoption of a resolution, proposed resolution number 2023-291? Yes, Honorable Leva?
Madam Presiding Officer, the original title of the proposed resolution is a resolution congratulating the Department of Education Schools Division of Marinduque for winning 7 gold medals and 17. Do we understand that instead of giving or congratulating the institution, the individual medalists will be awarded or cited? Is that the premise of the good sponsor?
So may we hear from the reporting
Yes, Madam
committee
Chair.
chair? So,
Yes, Madam Chair.
individual so ang bibigyan ng
Yes,
award?
Madam Chair. Actually, yun po yung binasa ko kanina.
Okay.
Yun yung sinabi ko kanina.
Yes.
So,
Individual.
so yung ano po will be amended.
Yes.
So the title of the original resolutions as introduced will be amended.
Okay po. So, so the new, what will be the new title of the resolution po? Congratulating the awardees, the winners, the winners from Marinduque. Sige po,
Original meet.
ano na lang po yung mismong title, yung revised title, ano po. But definitely, it's not the DepEd na bibigyan ng recognition, but the individual athletes. Okay. Thank you for the clarification, Honorable Red. And any objection to the committee report? The chair hears none. Thus, the committee report is now adopted, and the proposed amended resolution is now will be considered in the business for the day. Yes, our floor leader.
Madam Presiding Officer, that ends our committee reports. We now go to the calendar of business. We don't have any unfinished business. For the business for the day, the first item for the business for the day is the proposed resolution number 2023-290. May I ask the Secretary to please read the title.
Proposed resolution number 2023-290, resolution appropriating the amount of 11,887,550 pesos for the acquisition of the road right-of-way in the proposed Maniwaya Circumferential Road Project in Santa Cruz, Marinduque, authored by the Committee on Appropriations as lead committee and Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the gentleman from back for the sponsorship of the said measure.
Thank you. Recognizing Honorable Caballes, may the presiding officer be clarified? I thought that during the LEDAC meeting, there was an agreement that it will still be clarified whether or not the property will be transferred.
It will be form part of the provisions of the resolution, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Bocaleva. Yes, recognizing Honorable Caballes.
Thank you po, Madam Presiding Officer. Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the adoption of a resolution appropriating the amount of 11,887,550 pesos for the acquisition of road right-of-way in the proposed Maniwaya Circumferential Road Project in Santa Cruz, Marinduque. Madam Presiding Officer.
Before its approval, Madam Chair, may I again restate that a resolving clause be added that the ownership of the said road will be clarified by the local chief executive.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. Is there any objection to the motion by the sponsoring chair? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, proposed resolution number 2023-290 is now approved. We'll just request the Secretary to take note of the important provisions in the resolving clause.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the adoption of the resolution on the accompanying report of the Committee Report 165-2023 of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I formally move for the adoption of a resolution approving the Comprehensive Land Use Plan 2022 to 2036 of the Municipality of Gasan, Marinduque. I so move.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Encabo, Honorable Mangkukang. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, the motion is approved. The resolution approving the Comprehensive Land Use Plan for 2020 to 2033 of the Municipality of Gasan, Marinduque is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized again?
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for adoption of a resolution declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-281 of the Municipality of Gasan, Mukpog, Marinduque, entitled an ordinance eliminating the practice of fish trading among fishermen, trade middlemen, and market fish vendors called Padawa system as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. I so move.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Manggol. Any objection? The chair hears none, thus the motion is approved and the resolution declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 2023-281 of the Municipality of Magpog, Marinduque, an ordinance eliminating the practice of fish trading among fishermen, trade middlemen, and market fish vendors called Padawa system is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Local Economic Enterprise, Public-Private Partnership, and Investment Promotion for the accompanying resolution of Committee Report Number 169-2023.
Yes, recognizing Honorable Lim.
Madam Chair, with the indulgence of the body and subject to the amendments stipulated in the committee report, I move that we pass a resolution authorizing Honorable Governor PRESBITERO J. VELASCO Jr. to negotiate with concerned government agencies, local government units, and stakeholders for the creation of Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Balogo International Port in Santa Cruz, Marinduque, apply with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, PEZA, Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, TIESA, and other concerned agencies of the government for the establishment of the same and designate its initial principal officers subject to the concurrence of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Madam Chair, I so move.
Is that a second, Honorable Leva? There is a motion duly seconded by Honorable Leva for the adoption of a resolution authorizing the Honorable Governor as reiterated by Honorable Lim. Any objection? The chair hears none, thus the proposed resolution granting authority to Honorable Governor PRESBITERO Velasco Jr. to negotiate with concerned government agencies, local government units, and stakeholders for the creation of Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Balogo International Port in Santa Cruz, Marinduque, apply with Philippine Economic Zone or PEZA, Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority or CHES and other concerned agencies of the government for the establishment of this same, and designate its initial principal officer subject to the concurrence of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now approved. That is with understanding that in the final resolving clause, the term interim will be used.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, Madam Chair, still subject to the amendments stipulated in the committee report, Madam Chair, I move that we pass a resolution authorizing the Honorable Governor PRESBITERO J. Velasco Jr. to negotiate with the concerned government agencies, local government units, and stakeholders for the creation of Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Ino-Kapayang Agro-Industrial Zone in Magpog, Santa Cruz, in Magpog, Marinduque, applying with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, PEZA, Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, TIESA, and other concerned agencies of the government for the establishment of the same and designate its initial principal officers subject to the concurrence of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Madam Chair, I so move.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Manggol, Honorable Mangkukang. Any objection? The chair hears none, thus the motion is approved. The resolution granting authority to Honorable Governor PRESBITERO Velasco Jr. to negotiate with concerned government agencies, local government units, and stakeholders for the creation of Marinduque Special Economic Zone and Ino-Kapayang Agro-Industrial Zone in Santa Cruz, Marinduque, apply with the PEZA and TIESA and other concerned agencies of the government for the establishment of the same, and designate its initial principal officers subject to the concurrence of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
In relation to that, may we just request the help of and support of everyone for the immediate process with regard to the enactment of the concerned ordinance for this purpose. And at the same time, for the creation of the technical working group that could expedite the process too. Yes, Honorable Leva.
Madam Chair, may I move for the adoption of a resolution authorizing the Governor, Honorable PRESBITERO J. Velasco Jr. to open a time deposit account in the amount of 9 million with the Development Bank of the Philippines. I so move.
Is there any second to that motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Manggol. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, the motion is approved. And the resolution granting authority to the governor to open a time deposit account with Land Bank of the Philippines in the amount of 9 million pesos is now approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the adoption of a resolution authorizing the Governor, Honorable PRESBITERO J. VELASCO Jr., to place 100 million Treasury bill with the Development Bank of the Philippines for a period of 6 months subject to prevailing rate. I so move.
Any second? Duly seconded by Honorable Manggol, Honorable Rihano. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The resolution granting authority to Governor Presbitero Velasco Jr. For the placement on behalf of the provincial government of Marinduque of 100 million treasury bills is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer.
Can we possibly put in the resolving clause that a monthly updating of related information be transmitted to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan for our information also.
Noted, Madam Chair, and we will include that. Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Health for the accompanying resolution of Committee Report number 171-2023.
The gentle lady from Santa Cruz is
Thank you.
recognized,
Thank you, Mr.
Honorable
Leader.
Rehano.
I move for the adoption of a resolution granting authority to sign and to enter into a memorandum of agreement regarding the espesyalista para sa bayan. I'm so moved.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Encabo, Honorable Manggol. Any objection? The chair hears none. Thus, the motion is approved. The resolution granting authority to Honorable Presbitero Velasco Jr. to enter into and sign on behalf of the provincial government of Marinduque a memorandum of agreement with the DOH-CHD MIMAROPA regarding the Espesyalista para sa Bayan program is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture, Fisheries and Aquatic Resources for the accompanying resolution of Committee Report number 172-2023.
The gentleman from Santa Cruz, Honorable Encabo, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for the approval and adoption of a resolution giving authority to the provincial government represented by the Governor, Honorable Presbitero J. Velasco Jr. to sign and to enter into a memorandum of agreement with Philippine Center of Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization, PHILMECH. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second to the motion by Honorable Encabo, duly seconded by Honorable Rehano. Any objection? Also by Honorable Manggol. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The resolution granting authority to Honorable Governor Presbitero Velasco Jr. to enter into and sign on behalf of the provincial government of Marinduque a memorandum of agreement with the Center of Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization, or PHILMECH, is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize again the Chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture, Fisheries and Aquatic Resources for the Joint Committee Report number 173, Series of 2023 of the Committee on Agriculture, Committee on Appropriation, and Committee on Rules.
Again, the gentleman from Santa Cruz, Honorable Encabo, is recognized.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. I move for the adoption and the approval of a resolution granting authority to the provincial governor, Honorable Presbitero J. Velasco Jr., to sign and to enter into memorandum agreement with Agricultural Training Institution, ATE, Regional Training Center, MIMAROPA, represented by its Center Director, Pat Andres B. Barrientos, for the purpose of facilitating a transfer of fund of ATE MIMAROPA amounting to 1,202,000 1,200,000 pesos. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second to the motion by Honorable Encabo? Duly seconded by Honorable Rihano. Any objection? The chair hears none, thus the motion is approved. The resolution granting authority to Honorable Governor Presbitero Velasco Jr. to enter into and sign on behalf of the Provincial Government of Marinduque a Memorandum of Agreement with the Agricultural Training Institution Regional Training Center, MIMAROPA, for the transfer of funds amounting to 1.2 million for the operationalization of the Provincial Agriculture and Fisheries Extension System, or PAFES, and the implementation of the projects for fiscal year 2023 is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I omnibussly move for the adoption of a resolution adopting a declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 199, Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Gasan, entitled An Ordinance Enacting the Enhanced Gender and Development Code and the Municipality of Gasan, and mandating the implementation of a comprehensive and sustainable GAD program, and Municipal Ordinance Number 200, Series of 2023 of the Municipality of Gasan, entitled An Ordinance requiring certain establishment, learning institutions, and other offices found within the territorial jurisdiction of the Municipality of Gasan to install a closed-circuit TV system in their premises and prescribing penalties for violation thereof and for other purposes as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. I so move.
Is there any second to the omnibus motion? Duly seconded by Honorable Rihano, Honorable Manggol, Honorable Mangkukang. Any objection? The chair hears none, thus the omnibus motion is approved. The municipal ordinance number, the resolution declaring municipal ordinance number 199, series of 2023 of Gasan, and municipal ordinance number 200, series of 2023 also of Gasan are now a resolution declaring these two ordinances to be valid and within the authority of the said LGU to enact is now adopted. And also, I was reminded by our good secretary that we may opt to recommend also the granting of monetary reward as provided in our ordinance yan, ano? There is a municipal or provincial ordinance. So, can we have the motion again?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of a resolution. Congratulate the winners, winning Marinduque athletes during regional meet held in the provinces of Mindoro and Romblon with certain award and rewards.
As per the approved provincial ordinance.
Yes, Madam Chair. I so move, Madam Chair.
There is a motion by Honorable Red. Any second?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable Red.
Madam Chair, may amendment.
Honorable Leva.
With amendments. With amendment.
Can we add the clause and appropriating the amount of 181 pesos, 181,000 pesos
For the purpose.
for the purpose?
Okay.
Okay, just in case wala pang appropriation. Okay. Thank
Madam
you.
Chair?
Yes, Honorable Rosales.
Clarification lang ho. Di ba ho kasama rin sa ang coaches dun sa binibigyan natin ng monetary reward? Wala na.
Meron yun.
Mapapasama na sila dun sa 181,000? May
Lahat naman po yan ay individuals, ano? Hindi siya group competition. Wala tayong entry for team. Walang team competition. Okay. So, is there any second to the amended approval of the amended resolution? Duly seconded by Honorable Rihano, Honorable Rosales, Honorable Leva. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The proposed resolution congratulating the individual winners from the Marinduque team in the last MIMAROPA RAA, providing providing the giving of monetary reward and incentives to them and appropriating funds for the purpose is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, that's all for the business for the day portion of today's session. We don't have an assigned business. We don't have any proposed ordinance and resolution for third and final reading.
This session is adjourned.